Today, what we're going to talk about is it's called the big snooze. Okay. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person that you are. Okay. When I first started getting into self-helpery, there was lots of talk about something called the ego that just confused the absolute hell out of me. I always thought the ego was about being conceited, and braggy and all that. I'm going to talk on and on about how great I am, and then I'm going to show you my muscles. Meanwhile, even though arrogance and conceit, which are very different, guys, from self-love and confidence, by the way, they're all part of ego. They're not. And as I later learned, they're not part of the whole dealio. Okay. In the spiritual help, self-help community, ego is used to refer to the shadow self or the false self or the self that's acting like a weenie. Okay. It's part of us. It's the part of us. It's the part of us that's driving the bus when we do things like when we sabotage our happiness by like cheating on our spouses because deep down we are not really feeling worthy of being loved, or the part of us that refuses to follow our hearts or pursue an acting career because we're terrified to be seen for who we really are. It goes on and on and on and on. That part of us that goes on and on and on and on about how great we are, and we show off our muscles because we're really insecure and need lots of outside validation that we're good enough. Okay. In other words, there's more than one ways, guys, to go on an ego trip. Okay. From here on out, what we're going to do is we are going to refer to the ego as the big snooze, or BS for short. Okay. I think it'll be a little bit less confusing. Plus, I think it's more than appropriate since the leading cause of sucking, like, staying broke, dating morons, uncontrollably crying in public because we hate our lives, is that we haven't yet woken up to how truly powerful we are, or how massively abundant that the universe is. Okay. All righty, guys. So moving forward, the big snooze, it operates according to your limiting false beliefs. This is the garbage that was stuffed into your subconscious as a kid that doesn't ring true for you, as well as the decisions you've made about yourself that are less than flattering or empowering. Okay. It's the part of you that gets validation from outside sources. I'm doing this to win your love. Your opinion of me is more important than my opinion of me. It's reactive, guys. It's reactive. My circumstances control my life, or I am a victim. It's fear-based. It's extremely committed to keeping you safely confined within the reality that you've created based on these limiting false beliefs, otherwise known as your comfort zone. Okay. The big snooze, it lives in the past and in the future, and believes that you are separate from everything around you. Okay. Your true self, or your higher self, or your superhero self, your non-BS self. Okay. On the other hand, it's part of you that operates according to your connection to the source energy. It gets validation from within. Like, I love and I trust myself. This feels right to me. I have a purpose. I am loved. It's also proactive. I'm in control of my life. I think I'll head on out and kick me some ass today. It's love-based, and it's committed to creating a reality based on your limitless potential. As soon as you wake up from the big snooze, okay, your true self lives in the present. You remember yesterday we talked a little bit about taking a few times yesterday and just getting in the moment with your deep breaths, with feeling the air on your skin, with feeling your heartbeat, with feeling your energy pulse, feeling the energy around you. Okay. True self lives in the present, not what's stuck in your head. Okay. True self totally believes in miracles and is one with the universe. I want you guys to type in the chat, miracles are normal. Miracles are normal. Okay. We all experience life in varying degrees from both perspectives. Okay. And while I seriously doubt that there's anybody here that's listening to this call that is totally snooze free, most people are so wrapped up in the BS, okay, that they're settling for realities that are way beneath what is available to them. Okay. As a matter of fact, there's very few people that are aware of what's available. However, because we live in a fear-based society that loves to get all uppity towards people who wake up from the big snooze, blast out of their comfort zones, follow their hearts into the great unknown. Oftentimes, taking great leaps of faith is labeled as irresponsible or selfish, or, sometimes just absolutely insane. Until you succeed, of course, then you're brilliant. Okay. This is because watching somebody else totally go for it can be incredibly upsetting to the person who spent a lifetime building a solid case for themselves of why they can't. Okay. I'm obviously generalizing here, and there are plenty of people out there, really cheering us on. But one of the first things you might have to deal with when you decide to wake up from the big snooze and massive positive changes in your life is disapproval from other people who are still just snoring away. Okay. Especially, guys, we have to deal with this with the people that's closest to us, lame as this may sound. Okay. These people could express their discomfort in all sort of ways. Okay. Anger, hurt, bafflement, criticism, snorting, just every time you talk about your new business or your new friends, constant remarks about how you're not the way you used to be, shrinking their brow at you, worrying, teasing, even they might even block you from your social media platforms. You could hear things like, Marsha, are you really going to quit your secure corporate job and open a nail salon when you've got 2 children, a mortgage, and high blood pressure? Dawn, so few new businesses succeed, okay, especially in this economy. Aren't you worried about what's going to happen to your family if you fail? Of course, guys, you're going to be worried about what's going to happen to your family if you fail. You might wake up every night seized by panic about it. But the thing is are you moving past your fear to create something that's really, really, that you're really, really, really just physically psyched about, rather than dying a slow, painful death? Those hanging around the water cooler with you, whining about how dry the cake was at the birthday party your boss threw for you, and the thing you got to realize, guys, is these guys, they think that they're doing it out of love and concern. Okay. But even though, like, in their mind and heart, that may be where they're coming from with it, having others smear fear and worry all over you is just going to be the last thing that you need when you are strengthening your superhero muscles to step out, to take some risk. Okay. So in a way, I kind of highly recommend you keeping your mouth shut around people who are going to bring you down. Okay. Instead, guys, you need to seek out those people that are totally kicking butt, okay, or at least who are lifting their feet up to try to do so, okay, or maybe people that are going to be supportive, so that you do have somebody to confide in, okay, because you're going to have your own internal freak show to deal with as you try to overcome some of the objections from your own BS. Remember, guys, we are always our own worst enemy. And we've got to get you to a place where, you're not like that anymore, because God knows we deal enough with the outside world that the last thing we need to be doing is fighting ourselves. Okay. you know, this big snooze that we're talking about is kind of like an overprotective Italian mother who only, you know, they don't want you to go outside, but they want you to live with her forever. You know, her intentions in all of this are good, but basically, you know, they're fully fear-based, okay? As long as you stay inside the familiar risk-free zone of your present reality, you know, your big snooze, it's content, okay? But should you try to sneak past her and attend that rocking party outside, your overprotective, over-controlling mother is going to claw, scratch, scream, bite, you know, hurl her body, you know, in front of your rapidly approaching new life. Basically, she's going to do whatever she can to stop you, and it is not going to be pretty, okay? You know, it's like if you quit smoking or you quit doing drugs or drinking, you know, you might go into a withdrawal. You know, finally, you've taken a leap and done something that's going to massively improve your life, you know, and for days, you know, sometimes weeks, you feel worse than you did when you were a wild child. You know, you're hacking up all the nasty crap. You're ridding your body of toxins. You might be shaking. You might be sweating or puking, wondering why on earth did I think this was going to be a good idea? Really sounds like, you know, a lot of fun, right? And the same thing's going to go for when we rid ourselves of the limiting subconscious beliefs that's been holding us back, okay? When we take a giant leap out of our comfort zone, guys, it's not going to be comfortable. It is not going to be comfortable. You know, it's a detox. It is a detox of such staggering proportions, you know, that sometimes when we do this at first, it could feel like, you know, the universe is conspiring against us, you know. Oh, trees might fall on our cars, you know, our computers crash, you know, shoot, we could find our significant other in bed with our best friends, you know, we get our identity stolen, we get the flu, the roof of our house caves in, we sit in gum, when in reality, the big snooze, the BS is creating chaos, okay? And you've got to realize this, okay? It's just the big snooze. It's creating chaos in an attempt to self-sabotage, okay? Because see, the big snooze wants to keep everything as it is, you know, where it's comfortable, where you've settled that this is as good as it's going to get, okay? You know, the big snooze doesn't want you to move forward into the unknown, you know, but that is where you're desperately wanting to get. That is the new territory, okay? Every successful person, guys, and it's so important that you know this, every successful person that steps out of their comfort zone into something of the unknown where they have never been before, experiences this. We are not the only ones, okay? God knows that I've been through it time and time again. Every time I go to level up, it feels like everything is working against me. And then I have to practice what I teach you guys every day with the negative beliefs, with the self-sabotage of my subconscious, with that impending feeling of a Mac trust sitting on my chest. I have to do just like I tell you guys to do. When it gets like that, we've got to practice what we're learning, you know, and I have to tell myself, stop. Thank you, Jesus, for a miraculous outcome. Thank you, God, that you've got favor over me, over my finances, over my business, over my team, over my kids. You know, you've got to, when you step out of your comfort zone, you've got to fight the BS. Put that in the chat, guys. Fight the BS. Fight the BS. Because you guys have got to know, when taking great leaps forward, life often turns to shit before it turns to Sonola. Okay? You know, excuse me, guys. Yes, fight it. Fight it. I realize, you know, this might seem a bit far-fetched, okay? But remember, guys, you cannot forget this. You create your reality. Okay. You guys have spent an entire lifetime creating the one you presently have. Okay. Largely based on your limiting beliefs. Okay. These beliefs that we talked about, you know, when you were born, you know, you were carefree and all of your limiting beliefs started being put into you, into your subconscious by the people around you. Okay. You have spent an entire lifetime getting to where you are now. So when you decide it's time to rewire these beliefs, okay, you need to go for what's truly in your heart. Okay. You need to do a massive overhaul on yourself, on your world. Basically, you're murdering the big snooze. Guys, I'll tell you this every single day. God did not put that dream in your heart if he did not equip you with the tools to get there. Okay. He did not. Okay. And the big snooze, as you're trying to murder her, trust and believe, guys, she's going to come at you, rolling pin raised high over her head to beat you into submission, to beat you back into your old life. Okay. We're very powerful creatures, guys. We create our realities through focused energy. Okay. And should our subconscious mind decide to focus that energy at stopping ourselves from taking a risk because it's freaking out and it's terrified, you know, things can get a little crazy. Okay. Things can get a little crazy. Okay. The big snooze is going to do everything it can to stop you from changing, to stop you from growing, especially since you're attempting to obliterate the very identity that you and everyone else has come to know as you. Okay. Never underestimate the power of the big snooze scorned. Okay. Sometimes BS sets up emotional blocks to try to stop us. Other times, guys, she gets physical. Okay. I know this guy, he quit his job to start his dream company from scratch. You know, he had no idea where to start, you know, what he wanted to do or how he was really going to pull it off. And regardless of the fact that he had a family that was counting on him, you know, he had no guarantees, even fewer leads. He quit his secure job, you know, and he just went for it because this man was determined to create a life he loved. Well, you know, as you can imagine, that's when the BS hit the fan. Okay. You know, he got not one, but he got 2 flat tires after leaving a coaching session. You know, his babysitter ran into his wife's car while driving his car. Okay. The water main under his kitchen exploded. And, you know, right before his first big deal with his business went through, he got hit by a freaking bus, guys. He got hit by a bus. Now, I'm proud to tell you that he's fine and he lived through it, okay? But even with all of those extremely convincing excuses to say, you know what? Okay, fine, screw it. You win. I'm done. Besides all of that, he never gave up. He never gave up. Today, he finds himself being his own boss, doing what he loves, traveling the world. This man is now negotiating $1 million deals, making a huge difference in his clients' lives. He's being creative, you know, and he is setting an example, an excellent example for his kids about living life on purpose. Okay. You know, there was this record producer. She decided to build her own recording studio. You know, she put every dime she had and effort into buying all the recording equipment, the instruments, the amps, you know, soundproofing the studio, etc. You know, what all goes along with opening a recording studio, only to have the entire thing burned to the ground almost immediately after it was completed. You know, and instead of closing the shades, getting into bed, you know, sucking her thumb or whatever, you know, for the next 2 years, this woman got out and she raised the money she needed to rebuild an even better studio. Okay. And now this lady is rocking so hard, she gets handpicked by the musicians she works with. Basically, living out her fantasy life. I want you guys to type in the chat, living the dream. Living the dream. Come on, guys. Let me know you're still with me. Living the dream. Yes. Yes. So if you finally decide to quit your soul crushing job and, start the pastry shop, of your dreams, don't be upset if a truck driver drives through the front window and right into your scones. Okay. Instead of taking this as a sign that you should not have opened your shop. Okay. Take it to mean that you're ridding yourself of the BS and moving in the right direction. Okay. Take it as God saying, nah, think bigger. I tell my team that all the time. Nope. God's saying, nah, bigger. You need to think bigger. You need to dream bigger, and you need to be bold about it. Okay. Growth is not for weenies, guys. But, it's nowhere near as painful as staying stuck in a life where you know that you deserve more. It is not as painful as staying somewhere where you've just become complacent, where you're just okay, where you're just making ends meet. It's not as painful as staying in a place where you think this is good as it's going to get. Okay. If you want to take control of your life and turn it into something as spectacularly you as these other people that I've been talking about, stop at nothing. Have faith. Trust and believe that your new life is already here. It's far better than the old. Hang tight, guys. When the big snooze, when the BS pitches a fit. Whatever happens, guys, you've got to stay on the course that you're on, okay? Because I will tell you what, and I'll tell you from personal experience, there is nothing cooler than watching your entire reality shift into one that is the perfect expression of you, okay? And the perfect expression of the you that you aspire to be. And if you do not give up, if you do not let the BS win, you guys are going to get there, okay? We're going to talk, let's see. We got a few more minutes. We're going to talk a little bit about self-perception, okay? So many times, guys, self-perception, it's an absolute zoo, okay? Have you ever said, I'm okay, but I'm not okay, but I'm okay, but I'm not okay, I'm okay, I'm not okay, okay? I've got this friend, okay? They're a professional speaker, okay? She's the kind of person that is so articulate, so powerful, so bright, so naturally captivating that she could be standing at the counter ordering a burrito and I'd get all teary-eyed. That's right, girl. No refried beans. You heard the woman, So imagine my surprise when after one of her talks, she plunked herself down next to me and demanded to know how boring it was. I also have, these friends that are just absolutely gorgeous. I think they're hideous looking. I have met just these brilliant people who one moment think they're God's gift to mankind, and the next they need to be talked off a ledge, a ledge of self-proclaimed ineptitude. Okay. As an entrepreneurial neighbor who can't decide, if she's a financial powerhouse or if she's about to cause her family to start living underneath a bridge. Guys, your self-perception is a zoo. Okay. We spend our lives drifting between glimpses of our own infinite glory and the fear that not only are we totally incapable or unworthy or lazy or horrible, but that it's only a matter of time before someone blows the whistle on us. Okay. We torture ourselves incessantly. And for what purpose? You know, if we can get a glimpse of the glory, and I know that you can, why do we waste our precious time giving any energy to the other options? Wouldn't life be so much more fun, so much more productive and sexy if we fully embraced our magnificently delightful selves? Do you know it's just as easy, guys, to believe that we're awesome as it is to believe we're giant, sucky things? Oh, do you guys realize it takes the same amount of energy, the same amount of focus? So why do we choose all the drama? Why? Have you ever noticed how when someone you admire goes out and does something phenomenal, you're happy for him or her, but you're not surprised, well, of course they did something phenomenal. They're a phenomenal person. But to get yourself to see how amazing you are is like pushing a giant snowball up a hill. Yep, there we go. We're up. We're awesome. Whoops. Oh, crap. Sagging. I'm sagging to the left. Sagging to the left. Push it up. Push it up. There we go. Oh, we're all good. Crap. Now we're sagging to the right. We're sagging to the right. We're going to lose it. We're going to lose it. We run around taking one step forward and 14 steps back. Guys, when it's so unnecessary. Okay. I've seen this so many times. We were doing the 20K run. We had you make your list of 100 people. You were all psyched up about it. This was it. You were going to make it. You made 4 calls and got rejected, and you stopped. Had you have kept pushing through that list of 100 people, you would have got to the top of the mountain. But you let the BS stop you. You forgot about how amazing you are. You forgot about how great you are. You forgot about how this is your time and you deserve everything that your little heart desires. You forgot about that because you got told no 4 or 5 times. You let the BS win. And here you still sit in the exact same predicament, except just a little bit worse, because now you're feeling defeated because you feel like you failed. But you only fail, guys, when you quit trying. You only fail when you quit trying, okay? Instead, guys, my challenge to you is to try to see yourself through the eyes of somebody that admires you. They get it. They believe in your leaps and bounds. Because, see, they aren't connected to your insecurities, your negative beliefs about yourself, okay? All they see is your true glory and your true potential. You know what? We all need to become one of our number one most die-hard fans. We need to look at ourselves from the inside, okay? Look at ourselves from the outside, okay? Because on your outside, that's where all your self-doubts and loathing, it can't crawl all over you there, okay? Behold what is shining through. Okay. So you get to choose how you perceive your reality. So why, guys, when it comes to perceiving yourself, would you see anything other than a super huge rock star of a creature? Why? Why? Because of the BS. Because of the BS that you've been programmed to believe since you were an infant. Okay. You are a total badass. You were one when you came screaming into this planet, and you are one now. Okay. The universe, God, your higher power, whatever it may be, wouldn't have bothered bringing you here otherwise. Okay. And I am living proof, guys. You can't screw up so majorly that your badassery disappears. It's who you are. It's who you're always going to be. And this, my friends, is not up for negotiation. It's not. It is not up for negotiation. You are loved massively, ferociously, unconditionally. The universe is totally freaking out about how awesome you are. Okay. It's got you wrapped up in a warm gorilla hug of adoration. It wants to give you every single thing that you desire. It wants you to be happy. It wants you to see what it sees in you. Okay. You are perfect. To think anything else is as pointless as a river, thinking it's got too many curves or that it moves too slowly or that its rapids are too rapid. Says who? You guys are on a journey with no defined beginning, middle, or end. There are no wrong twists and turns. There's just being. Okay. Your job is to be as you can be. This is why you're here. Shy away from those who truly, to shy away from who you truly are leaves the world less than. And it leaves the world a little less you. You're the only one there is. You're the only one that will ever be. I repeat this. You are the only one there is and will ever be. Do not deny the world its one and only chance to bask you in brilliance. Okay. We're all perfect in our own magnificent, fucked up ways. Laugh at yourself. Love yourself and others. Rejoice in the cosmic ridiculousness. Okay. Rejoice. So today we're going to focus on getting rid of the BS because tomorrow we are going to work on how to embrace our inner badass. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Well, I will see you in the chats. I'll see you at class tonight. Be blessed.